I'm Carl Reed, and I've been in Carroll County all my life. Born and raised here
And what part of Carroll County?
in Carroll County,
What part?
between Westminster and Manchester.
Oh,
I was born right across the hill on 482, and lived across on 27 since 1939 until we moved here
oh wow.
in 205.
Were you on a farm?
Mom and Dad had a small farm.
And that's what they did for a living?
No, my dad was a presser for Graff Clothing Company in Westminster for 42 years.
And what did you do when you were growing up?
I did a little bit of everything. After high school, I went to work for a carpenter, and then I worked for him about a year and a half. Then I went to work for an electrician, and then after that, I went in the service. I was in the Air Force for 4 years, and when I came out of there, my brother and I went in business for about 7 years, and then we split up. He took half the business, I taken half of it, and did that for another 7 years. And then I went to Black & Decker, and for 22 years. And worked. Then after that, when Black & Decker closed down, then I went into small home improvements for myself. And I did that until we moved here.
To Carroll Lutheran.
To Carroll Lutheran, yes.
So when you were growing up, were most people farmers, or did people do many different things?
It was more farmers then than just about everybody had a small place, unless you lived in the city. But out in our area where we lived, why, there was a lot of farms around.
So what was a typical day when you were growing up?
For me, besides going to school, I would come home and help Dad in the evening on the farm, what I could. Of course, then you had running around in your vein too. So do a little bit of running around. And
what do you remember about your neighbors? Were they close?
we were all close back then. It seemed like everybody knew everybody, and we all got along well. It seemed like it. We did.
How were the schools? Were they big like they are today?
No, I went to Manchester High School, which was a small school, just like Hampstead. Westminster was a big school at that time.
It still is.
So, yeah.
Did you have a lot of diversity? Were there different kinds of people here, or were they all basically the same?
I would say in our community they were basically all the same, farmers or small factory workers.
What'd you do for entertainment?
Well, we always liked to play ball. We'd get together in a meadow on Sunday and play softball. And then I liked to bowl and roller skating at that time.
What about when you were a young adult? What did you do then? What was the entertainment?
I guess the same thing. We played softball. A bunch of us get together, and
Did they have movie theaters?
well, they had movie theaters, but that wasn't not as a young adult. We didn't go to too many movies. We really didn't have the money to go.
Let's see. Let's see, we went over the school. What were your teachers like in school?
Oh, they were all very friendly. Got along well with all of them. We had one that would take us out on her farm, and give us picnics, and go out there on educational tours, how farm life was and is. And
That was nice.
yes,
Yeah,
very.
different experience.
Yes, it was.
Where did you shop for groceries?
Gee whiz, I guess Mom and Dad went to Manchester, I guess some, to At that time, we did Miller's Meats, because that's an old establishment.
And that's still around
And,
today.
yeah, and then A&P in Westminster, and they had the Acme then, and so
And about you said that your father worked for a clothing store.
for clothing.
And
factory.
that was in Westminster.
Yes.
Were there other clothing stores in Westminster?
Not at that time, it wasn't.
How long did that stay in Westminster?
Well, it's still there, but it's now called English American, which is out on 27.
Do you remember how the shopkeepers were or anything about them at that time?
Well, I think everything went well with that. For him to stay there 42 years, I would say it'd have to be good.
When you would walk down the street of Westminster back then, what was it like?
Oh, everybody would stop and talk. It was more open. You wouldn't believe the same town today.
What was your favorite place?
A favorite place? Such as,
In Westminster or in Carroll County? What was your favorite place to go to?
I would say the skating rink when I was younger.
What about your church? Did you go to church?
Yes, went to the same church. I still go to the same church that I went to then,
Oh, wow, you've seen
in
a lot
St.
of
Benjamin's
changes.
Lutheran. So,
How is it different today?
pardon?
How is it different today?
It's more younger people. They have different ideas, which is good. You have to accept change, and change is what it is today. It's an awful lot of it.
What were the winters like?
They're very sociable. I guess that's what I want to say. And you said the women.
Oh, no, the winters, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
the winters. Oh, we had nice winters back then. Yep.
What were the activities like in winter versus summer?
Well, in the wintertime, we didn't do a whole lot. We come home from school and done our homework and then helped out on the farm what we could in the winter. And
What would you have liked to have changed when you were growing up about Carroll County?
I don't know whether there's anything that I would change or not. Everything went well, and they had what we needed, what we wanted, and we had our own car that we could pick up and go when we wanted to personally, that is, yeah.
What do you miss most about Carroll County the way it used to be?
The farmland. It's a shame to see all the land go for housing development, although I know that we need it, but it's not Carroll County farm anymore.
Yeah. If you had to describe Carroll County to someone who's never been here, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as God-friendly, nice rolling, gently hills, a very picturesque area, and I'd recommend that if you have no place to live, to come here and live.
Do you have any other stories that come to mind that you'd like to share about?
Now,
Growing up?
when I was in the Air Force, I was in a weather squadron, and I flew through typhoons. We tracked typhoons over. I was stationed in Guam, and we would go as far as Japan and track typhoons, and that's very interesting to fly through one.
Yeah, we don't get those here.
No. Well, we have tornadoes here, which is the same.
So that was an interesting time in your life doing that.
Well, that was something different, yes. But all in all, I've had a very good life, very good wife. Same wife for 52 years,
Congratulations.
almost 53. So, but say, oh no, I'm a very conscientious, and I do not need a lot of hype and everything to make me feel good.
That's great. That's great. You think that has to do with growing up in a small town?
I would say that it does. Because some of these children that I see grow up in the city, they don't know what it's all about.
You think discipline was different then?
Just somewhat.
Or just the hands-on working on the farm kind of thing? Do you think that helps a lot?
I would say anytime you have hands-on, yes. And I enjoy woodwork. We have a nice woodworking shop here, and I spend a lot of time down there too.
Did you do that when you were growing up?
I taken up wood shop in school, and I loved it all the time.
Did you see did your teachers stay in the area when you were? Did you ever see them around town? And
After we graduated, yes, I saw some. And when we had a class reunion, several of them would come to those. Of course, now that I'm getting older, and they were also older when we started, you know, some of them, I think there's only one of them that's left now. And
what about your house? What was your house like? How is it different than today?
where my wife and I lived, we were there for 49 years. And I enjoyed going out and doing the lawn and the flower beds. Well, Barbara done most of those, but naturally she would need help.
Did you have air conditioning? And
Oh, yes.
what about when you were a kid?
Oh, when we were kids, we didn't even have a bathroom till I went into service in '53, and when I came home, Dad had a bathroom in.
That was your welcome home.
Yeah. Well, I think when I came home on leave from Texas, he had the bathroom in then, which would have been the end of '54.
Had the town changed while you were gone?
Not a whole lot, except for 140. They were just starting to build 140 when I left. And then when I came back, that was all down and complete. And
Did you like it?
well, there's one of the changes that I would rather see a country setting. But with all the urban sprawl and everything, you know, but that's progress.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Well, thank you. I hope I've done the job.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.